right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
So today we're going to be taking a look at Kingdom 4, Return of the Great General. And we're going to be using a review by MovieKaTicket Films to kind of guide our discussion today.
I think that'll be fun. It's a really interesting movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. And so, yeah, why don't we just jump right into it?
Okay.
So I guess the first thing that really stood out to me was the fact that Kingdom 4 is actually a sequel. So this is continuing the story that started in Kingdom 3, The Flame of Destiny.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like you're saying, it's part of this larger saga, and it's focusing on this huge conflict that was happening between the Qin and the Zhao states.
Right, and in this particular movie, they're focusing on this rivalry, this legendary rivalry between Wang and Nuan.
Yeah, it was like one of the defining conflicts of the time, and it's a really it's a really interesting story to look at.
So can you kind of put this into context for us, like what was happening in China during this period?
Yeah, so this was like during the Warring States period, which was this really chaotic time in Chinese history when you had all these different states that were all fighting for control.
Right.
And it was really just a time of constant warfare and upheaval. You know, alliances were shifting all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you had these really strong personalities, these really kind of larger-than-life figures like Wang and Nuan, who were basically trying to outmaneuver each other.
I see. So it wasn't just about brute force, it was about strategy, too.
Exactly. Yeah, they had to be really cunning, and they had to be able to think ahead and anticipate their opponent's moves.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So these battles, they weren't just like skirmishes. They were actually really important events.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they could determine the fate of entire nations. You know?
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So the review also talks about the performances in the film, and they seem to be really impressed with Kento Yamazaki, who plays Jin.
Yeah. He's phenomenal in it, you know, and he actually won the Best from the East Award at the New York Asian Film Festival for his performance.
Oh, wow. So that's a pretty big deal then.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. The New York Asian Film Festival is like one of the top film festivals in the world for Asian cinema.
Wow. So it's not just like some random award. It's like...
No. It's a really prestigious award.
Wow. So he must have really done an incredible job.
Yeah. His performance is really nuanced and, you know, it really captures the complexities of this character.
Wow. Okay. And so moving on, the review also talks about how amazing the action sequences are and like the visual.
Oh yeah, the action sequences are incredible. I mean, they're brutal, but they're also really well choreographed and they're really strategic. You can see like the thought that went into them.
Yeah, and they made sure to give shout outs to the director Shinsuke Sato and the cinematographer Akira Sako.
Right. They did an amazing job of bringing this world to life, you know?
Yeah, so like how do you think they managed to balance like the historical accuracy with like the need to make it entertaining for a modern audience?
Well, I think they did a really good job of, you know, doing their research and making sure that the battles were portrayed accurately, but they also made sure that the film was visually stunning and that it had a lot of excitement and drama, you know?
Right.
So it's a good balance.
So speaking of the historical accuracy, one of the things that the review mentioned was that the film really highlights these themes of like valor and strategy.
Right.
Do you think that the film's attempt at historical accuracy actually enhances those themes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you understand the real historical context, it just gives the characters' choices and sacrifices so much more weight.
Right.
You know, valor becomes more than just physical courage. It's about like making these really difficult decisions and leading by example and staying true to your convictions even when the odds are stacked against you.
So I guess what we're trying to say is if you're interested in history or you're just looking for like a really epic action film, Kingdom 4 is definitely worth checking out.
Definitely. I mean, even if you're not familiar with the previous films in the series, I think you can still enjoy it. Yeah.
It's just a really well-made film.
Okay. And also, MovieKaTicket Films encourages everybody to check out their website and their app.
Oh, yeah. They've got tons of great reviews and information about all sorts of films.
So, yeah, definitely do that. But before you go, we want to leave you with a little something to think about.
Okay.
So, does knowing the historical weight of these battles actually make your experience as a viewer more powerful? You know, like, does it make you appreciate the characters' choices and sacrifices more?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is something to think about.
It is.
And on that note, we're going to wrap things up here.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us for another deep dive, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.